Madam Clerk, if you could read the third order of business, we could get through it so we could get to Councilmember King's issue.
Third order of business, presentation, Dr. Alan Salarin, President of the World Honesty Day, and Ms. Belinda Parker Brown, CEO, founder of Louisiana United International, Inc. A kickoff of the World Honesty Day, a global celebration of government transparency, honoring the Constitution, the commitments, and Hippocratic oath in New Orleans on March 16, 2025.
I want to thank Dr. Alan Salarian and Belinda Parker Brown. Dr. Salarian's wife is with him. We had some of the most iconic figures in the world and in the country here talking about government and honesty, transparency, and how government serves people. Guys, we don't mean to rush, but this was so important, especially for you guys to bring and have this summit conference come into the city of New Orleans. We had to honor you guys. I'm going to turn it over to Belinda Parker Brown, then she'll turn it over to Dr. Salarian and talk about the importance of this World Honesty Day and what it means to all of us. Belinda Parker Brown.
Have been just such a phenomenal what's happening in this room today, and I am so pleased to be a part of this agenda and so excited to be here and all the presentations that have went before us. I know that it's a time when you just know that you're in the right place. It feels right, and everything that's been said here today is right. I just want to appreciate this council. I want to appreciate from the bottom of my heart Councilman Oliver Thomas for giving us this opportunity, and his staff, and the Chief of Staff, Ms. Lena. Thank you so much for just your professionalism and all the great work that you have been doing here to help make this transpire for us. World Honesty, as an advocate for good government, that's my work. I have dedicated my life and my passion to have transparency in our government. We all know what's happening in our country. We feel that to stand up and have our voices heard about how we feel as a people in the world today. We want transparency in our government. We want integrity and honesty. And I would love for Oliver to elaborate on Psalms 127. Would you please do that for us, Oliver?
Yeah, first of all, thank you guys for allowing me to be one of the speakers. And I was motivated by this effort, and it was more than just government. It was a spiritual movement and the people there in terms of their faith and the fact that they wanted government the word. So I was just reminded of a psalm that when my mom used to pray for the city, she always prays the 127th Psalm. And I think too often when we think about the separation of church and state, it was to keep the state out of God's business, not to keep God out of the state's business. And the 127th Psalm says, if God's blessing doesn't supply the builders, then the builders build the city in vain. If God's mercy doesn't protect the city, then the sentries/policemen protected in vain. So we can haggle about all we want, political ideology, race, and gender, but if faith and the spirit on the foundation, then the city will never be safe. And so I just thought sharing that with the conference was important because we keep looking for these policy, we keep looking for a savior, a political savior to fall out of the sky. We keep looking for policies to change. We act laws every day on top of laws, and stuff still doesn't work. But if we lead with our faith, and if we lead with prayer, anything is possible. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you so much. You know, with that said, you know, I want to say that we're here to help promote all the great things that our city is doing. And Dr. Salarian have such a sincere passion and message in his art. And would you like to speak on that, Dr. Salarian, how we want to use World Honesty Day to promote the great work that our city is already doing?
Actually, I'm a better painter than a speaker. English is my third language, so when it comes to sensitive topics, I have found freedom on the canvas and the colors. But the reason my wife and I are in this beautiful city, and I really mean it, this is a marvelous, marvelous city, and I think you guys should be very proud of what you've done, is because two of my sons, one is a neurologist, the other is a therapist, moved to New Orleans some 5 years ago. At that time, I had my own prejudice and bias. I said, why do you want to go to a party city? This is, you know, you're a doctor, you research. It's a party town. My son said, Justin said, look, this city has a soul. It has a soul. And people are authentic. These words resonate in my head all the time. And what I found in this town is exactly that. This is a city that has a soul, and soul meaning culture, tradition, values, 10 Commandments. This is what it means. This is why we're here.
And just to make it short, it's no place like home, and this is home. And we want to do everything that we can to help promote the great work that's being done here through World Honesty Day. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Councilmember King.
Thank you, and congratulations to all the work that you've been doing and will continue to do. Thank you.
Councilmember Morrell.
Honesty should be paramount. Honesty and communication and in things would resolve pretty much 90% of problems. If people were just honest with themselves and honest with others, you would see a tremendous drop in miscommunication, which leads to every aspect of conflict in society. I mean, when you think about all the things that are happening in society right now, the miscommunication between individuals, between governments, if everyone would just aspire to be honest people who would do the right thing, it would clear up all of that. So I certainly agree, we need more World Honesty Days, and I think everyone should aspire to be honest in all their dealings.
May I say something? I think these are beautiful, beautiful comments. The spirit of the day is governmental honesty, because from the bottom of my heart, governmental honesty and transparency is the issue we're facing. I don't trust my fellow human beings. I don't. We are imperfect, and under stress, we lie, cheat, and do all kinds of bad things. But we have made such progress, and we have learned such wonderful lessons from MLK, JFK, RFK, and other great guys. Today, we have evolved enough to say we have the know-how to ensure that our government and people who work for our FBIs and CIAs will be responsible and follow our Constitution. That's the spirit.
Thank you.
100%.
Councilmember Green.
Dr.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Solarian and Ms. Parker, also it's great to have you all here this morning. And as we commence with the celebration of World Honesty Day, I'd like to emphasize the aspect of it that deals with government transparency. We want more people to participate in government. We want more people to feel confident in government. And one way to do that is to emphasize that there aren't things that should be hidden, that we should be as straightforward as possible and be available to our citizens to answer their questions, and therefore they will feel more. We will all feel more comfortable participating. I know that our city is moving in the right direction in many respects. There are always going to be challenges out there, but I like to emphasize the good side of it. I see a lot of positive in government. I see a lot of sharing of information. I do everything that I can as a council member when questions are asked of me to be as transparent as possible. I like to emphasize that portion of World Honesty Day, and let's all continue to strive to have government to be as transparent as possible. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you
We
so
have a proclamation for Belinda Parker Brown and for Dr. Alan Salarian. And let me say, when you're a person of faith, you don't have to profess which faith. And when you're a person who leads with your humanity, you don't have to shine your halo, because other people will shine it for you. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Let's give them a hand.